Welcome to a special episode of Airgun Detectives. I'm your host, JC, and our Rare and Unusual series continues. If you guys don't know what that is, every month I feature a rare or an unusual airgun, meaning an airgun that's not that common or maybe one that's not manufactured anymore. So anyway, I feature that once a month, so catch those episodes each and every month. And we'll keep going on these until we run out, and I can't imagine at what point that's going to happen. All right. What do we have today? We have today the Beeman Bison. This is the dual barrel. In other words, it comes with two barrels and they're stainless steel. Pretty awesome. But anyway, before I get into that, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down in the corner. It costs you absolutely nothing. It's free, but it really helps support the channel. So I would greatly appreciate that if you could do that. Also, check out my website, www.airgundetectives.com. On that site, I've got these various t-shirts, different color styles. I've got hats. I've got my Generation 2 bipods, which you can actually see right here on this rifle. It works out really well. And in addition to that, you Gammo shooters, I've got the Gammo trigger kits. They're really inexpensive, and it will turn your Gammo SAT or CAT trigger into a matte style trigger. It really will. Anyway, let's get back to the subject on hand. So we're featuring the Beeman Bison Dual. Now, I've had this for a while, and I did some serious modifications on it. But what do we have here? This is a break barrel air rifle, and it comes with both the 177 and the 22 caliber barrel. So you have both barrels. They're stainless steel, which is pretty awesome. They actually look really good too. And they both have their own muzzle brake on them, which is kind of cool. All metal. Makes a nice little cocking handle too. The rifle itself weighs about 8.5 pounds. It's 47.5 inches long, and the barrel itself is 16.5 inches. So this has a black synthetic stock, thumb hole stock. It's actually pretty solid. It's really heavy duty. It's almost like a military grade nylon plastic. So pretty cool. It's actually heavy duty. Anyway, it does have an adjustable two-stage trigger, which I did modify and make it perform actually really, really well. And in full disclosure, I fully tuned this rifle. Funny, I've had it for years, and I only tuned it just like a month ago. But I did a full tune on this, and also the other modifications on it, as I mentioned earlier, it's got the Generation 2 bipods, which makes an outstanding shooting platform. But these will pretty much go on 99.9% of any break barrel air rifle. So I do sell those on the website. Also, I added on this side because normally it just comes with a Picatinny rail here where you can mount a scope and no open sights. Well, I modified it to take some pop-up Pete's sights. In fact, these shoot really well with that, and I'm going to use those throughout this entire review video. So I'm not going to actually put the scope on. I'm going to use these pop-up. Yeah, I had to totally modify because this front's not a Picatinny rail. I had to Dremel it out and get it to set right. But actually, it worked out really good. And I don't know if you guys have ever shot peep sights, and I'm sure I'll mention this again. But when you're looking through that small hole in the back, even if you don't have the best of vision, it actually, when you're looking through a small dot like that, it actually clears it up, makes a good sight picture. No magnification, obviously, but it does make a good sight picture. So this is an extremely unique rifle. Like I said, it's pretty solid, but I'm actually really excited to show you guys the performance because especially after I tune this thing really is a performer. But you know what? There's no proof like the pudding. So let's go out and run it through the different steps so you guys can check it out. Then we'll come back and talk about it. So stay tuned for the next segment. All right, let's test out our Beeman Bison over the Crony. Now, since we have two barrels, I'm going to shoot the 177 first. We'll go through a couple of pellets here. And then we'll go ahead and do the 22 caliber, and we'll go from there. And we'll show you that a little larger pellet, even going a little slower, is going to get you a little bit more foot-pounds of energy, but we'll show you that. I kind of prefer shooting the 22s. They're easier to get in and out, but you do get some decent velocity out of the 177. Okay, so what we're going to shoot initially is just some basic Diablos, some 7 grains. I want to show you guys some good velocity here. We're going to shoot 5 shots, and I'm going to show you how it did with a couple other pellets. All right. Cocking effort is nothing on it. Now, I did tune this recently, so there might be a larger standard deviation than normal. After you get a bunch of pellets to it, it'll settle in. But let's see how we do here. All right, first shot. That was an error. let's just try this again. See if that smooths out. Okay, try it again. 998. Okay. Wonder if we can break 1,000. Let's see. 998. Shot number 2. 1,002. There you go. Shot number 3. 1010. Shot number 4. 1008. And one more. $9.92. Okay, that one dropped a little bit. All right, so there's your average for our Diablo Basics 7-grain pellet. You can see what the foot-pounds of energy are. Okay, 2 other pellets I tested out. One, the Crosman Prepare Hollow Points. They're a 7.9 grain. We averaged 962 feet per second with these. We got about 16 foot-pounds of energy. That's kind of your basic pellet. You can kind of get an idea of what your average velocity is compared to other guns. Okay, these did actually really well. These are the H&N Field Target Trophies, and these are a 9.57 grain. So these are a nice heavy 177 caliber. So we averaged 870 feet per second with these, and we got 16 foot-pounds of energy. So actually, this is actually performing quite well. It really is. Okay, what we're going to do next, I'm going to swap the barrels out, and we're going to do the 22 caliber. So stay tuned for the next segment. All right, let's see how our 22 caliber performs on this one. What we're going to be shooting here is the Barracuda Greens, or a 13 grain pellet. They performed actually really well. This is not overly pellet picky at all. It's not. But I'm going to show you how it did with 2 other pellets. But let's just shoot 5 shots. Go ahead and average it out. All right. God, the cocking effort is just nothing on this gun. It's like 30 pounds. Okay, shot number 1. 795. Shot number 2. 791. Shot number 3. 829. That jumped up a little bit. So I told you guys before, I just tuned this. So there's going to be a little inconsistency until I get a bunch of rounds through it. All right, that's shot number 3. Let's go shot number 4. 805. And let's do one more. 822. So you can see we're just barely above the 800 foot per second there. So anyway, that was our Barracuda Greens. Okay, another pellet did really well is the RWS Super Hollow Points. These are a 14.2 grain. These average right around 775 and gave us 19 foot-pounds of energy. And then just for common comparison, the basic Crossmans, the 14.3. These were 760 feet per second, and we got about 18.3 foot-pounds of energy. So we're kind of right between that 18, 19 foot-pounds of energy. So not a bad performance. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, let's test the Beeman for some accuracy. And what we're going to do here, you see I got a scope on this rifle? Yeah, so I can be really pinpoint accurate. But guess what? We're not going to use the scope. Done with that. We're going to use, as I showed you in the beginning, it's the peep sights that I installed in this. It's amazing how accurate this rifle can be with peep sights, and I'm going to show you guys that. Okay. Also, what we're going to do, we're going to start out with a 177 caliber. We're going to use the 10.65 grain. These are the H&N Barracuda matches. We're going to shoot 5 shots. We're going to see how well it groups. Then we're going to switch to the 22 caliber barrel, and we're going to use these rifle pellets. These are out of Brazil. I never had much experience with these, but I'm really liking these a lot. This one actually had the edge on all the other pellets I tested. These are a obviously 22 caliber, but these are a 14.5 grain. So we're going to test those. Also, we're going to be shooting at these HD targets. These are like I think they're 6-inch HD target. We'll be going ahead and shooting at those. We'll be going for groping. These are pretty cool. They actually work out good. I'll leave you guys a link below. Anyway, we're our usual 20 yards. Go ahead and check that out. You can see our two targets setting up there. We're going to hit one with the 177 and then come back and do the other one with the 22. So, let's get this rolling. Remember, 5 shots. We're starting out with the 177. God, there's just no cocking effort to this rifle at all. All right. Shot number 1. I'll take that. Shot number 2. Shot number 3. Shot number 4. And one more. Shot number 5. Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to swap these barrels out real quick. Then we're going to go to the second target. Alright, now we're going to test out the 22 caliber, and as I mentioned in the first part, we're going to be using these rifle pellets. These are 14.5 grain. Also, just so you guys know, when you switch the barrels out, your point of aim and your impact's going to be a different location, so you got to readjust your sights each time you swap the barrels out. So anyway, but that was a beautiful thing. I did that off camera, so now we're good to go. Alright, so let's shoot 5 shots. Same thing. Now to our next target. Although I tell you, I do like the 22 caliber pellets. They're much easier to handle, especially with my hands. Alright, let's do 5 shots. Shot number 1. I'll take that. Okay. This thing hits pretty good, I'll tell you. And these peep sights are just working out great. All right. That's 3. 2 more. And 1 more. Wow. Okay, that's a pretty good group. You know, both those, the 177 and the 22, both of them shot really good groups. Pretty similar for the most part. They really did. But those are, I'll take those groups every time, that's for sure. But the cool thing is you do have the option of either barrel. So you have your option of either 177 or 22 caliber pellets. Either way. Anyway, well, there you go. Let's move on to the next segment. All right, let's test the trigger on our Beeman here. I did clean this trigger up and adjusted it, and it's actually a pretty good trigger. So let's see how it performs. I don't think I've ever actually tested it before. Anyway, let's see how we go. We got a trusty Lyman trigger gauge here. Let's just see how we do. 2 pounds, 9/10 of an ounce. 2 pounds, 9/10 of an ounce. Yeah, amazing trigger. I got the thing set up really nice. All right, let's move on to the next segment. All right, let's do a little plinking with our Beeman Bison here and our dual barrels. I'm going to go with the 22 caliber barrel, a little windy, a little heavier pellet. Two of the best pellets in this were the H&N Field Target Trophies, 14.66. And these Brazilian pellets, the rifle pellets, these are the Diablo Pro Max. These are a 14.5 grain. I think we're just going to go with these, use those in the accuracy. Let's go with those and see how well we make out. But we're usual plinking distance. This is our break barrel, 40-yard distance. Go ahead and check that out real quick. And we got all steel targets today. We got 3 eggs, a little pipe, and a ram. So we're going to start on the right side, work our way left. So, and we are going to do peep sights even from this distance. It's a little tough. The targets are a little small, but it's a little bit of a challenge. So let's do it. And you know, we do have the option of putting a scope on this, but we're just going to go with the peep sights. All right, let's go with the right side. Oh yeah, that's definitely a hit. And little pipe. Oh yeah. And let's see, another little egg. And one more. God, those things are small. I'm telling you, I'm getting lucky hitting these right now. Got one more egg. Oh yeah, that was definitely a hit. Now, let's knock that ram out. But you know what? Let's go for a headshot. I'm getting cocky now. Let's go for a headshot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Took care of business. Yeah, I'm telling you, I would have preferred probably to have the scope just because I could see a little better on it. But these peep sights, they actually work quite well. And if you guys have never shot a peep sight, because it has a small diameter in the back, even if you don't have great vision, it actually, because of the smaller diameter, it actually makes a pretty good sight picture for you. It's pretty clear. So if you haven't tried a peep sight, I would try it at some point. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on and wrap this up. All right, let's wrap this up with our conclusion here. So what do you guys think? I thought this Beeman Bison had a terrific performance. Really, really did. I think it performed well. As far as negatives on the gun, I really don't have any, especially since I did a full tune on it. I did a trigger job. I added my Generation 2 bipods and then modified it to take the pop-up sights. I mean, that's really nice. Hey, I also, if you do need, if you like, so you can set a scope on this real easy. And then you have the option of shooting with the scope. But I just kind of shot it with the peep sights, just kind of wanted to show you guys what the performance was out of those. So pretty amazing as far as that goes. Yeah, again, I'm going to emphasize, if you haven't shot with the peep sights, you guys really need to try them at some point. Because even if you don't have the clearest vision, this will clear up the sight picture. It really will. But there's no magnification there. So if you really want to be real precise, then you go ahead and put the scope on there. But anyway. But what do I really like about this rifle? Believe it or not, I like the stock. It's solid. It fits my hands well. The grip does. It's just a nice, solid gun. I really like the fact it comes with 2 barrels and they're stainless steel. And these barrels, they're interchangeable. There's just one Allen bolt underneath there, and I put just a drop of blue Loctite on them. But you just loosen that up, the barrel comes right out, you swap the next one. Now, the gun is going to have a different point of aim with the different barrels, different calibers, because it's a different velocity. So you will have to re-sight in your gun every time you switch barrels, so just remember that. And the 22 caliber, I kind of partial to 22. Pellets are a little larger, they're a little easier to handle, and you get much more foot-pounds of energy out of it. Speaking of that, one thing I like, this gun is easy to cock. There's not much cocking effort, and we're still getting about 19 foot-pounds of energy out of it. So we're actually doing really good. So again, I like the trigger, especially now that I set it up and it's modified. You guys saw in the review, it's breaking at about 2 pounds. So it's a really nice, solid trigger. The accuracy was really good on both barrels. You guys saw that. And that wasn't shooting with a scope. I was just shooting with the peep sights. But both calibers were well under a ½ an inch at 20 yards. And then again, you saw what we did at the plinking session. I got to tell you, those little eggs looking through the peep sight, they were so small. I kept thinking, oh my God, I hope I hit these things. But sure enough, you get this thing. I mean, it is accurate. There's no question about it. So it did a fantastic job in the plinking session. Again, like I said, it's an easy cocking effort. There's not much to it. I like the fact it's got this muzzle brake on the end. It's all metal. It's just solid. You shoot this gun and feel it, you're gonna go, wow, this is really a solid gun. It really is. So you actually are probably gonna see this one up on my website because I try to recycle. In other words, what I do is I try to sell some of my older stuff, so then it'll give me the funding to purchase something new to review for you. So that's kind of my cycle. Plus, to be honest with you, I can't store it all. It gets to be too much. So that's why this stuff trickles out onto the website. And hopefully the website's working good right now. I've gotten another developer trying to work some stuff out. I mean, I've never had issues like this except the last 6 months. This website goes down and it seems like it takes forever to get it fixed, to get it back up. So hopefully we'll keep it going. Anyway, I hope you like this rare and unusual series. Don't forget, this is once a month, and I'm going to feature an air gun that is either no longer manufactured or one that's just really rare and maybe more uncommon. So once a month, I'm going to do that. So anyway, again, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And don't forget, this is where we take the mystery out of the air gun. So until next time, I hope you and your family are getting lots of shooting in and you're all doing really well. So take care and God bless.